Mark, the Mountain Guide.
It was a beautiful morning in the high Alps when suddenly, kaboom! The little Marmot mountaineers woke up with a start. Mark the Mountain Guide rushed outside the mountain hut, followed by the little mountaineers. "Everyone, stay where you are," shouted Mark. An enormous avalanche had blocked Mark's mountain path. The little mountaineers, students of the Marmot Mountaineering School, watched as heaps of icy snow settled down nearby. Mark the Mountain Guide made sure all his climbers were safe. He called their names from his checklist. "Eddie," he called. "Epic," said Eddie in wonderment. "Leo?" "Here," Leo said, shaking his head at the near disaster. "Marmots?" "1, 2, 3, whee!" said the little marmots all together. They had been climbing since they were babies. They loved the mountains. "We'll have to get down to the village another way," said Mark as he surveyed the map. "We'll need to go through Grumpy Gorge, across the Sorbate Glacier, and then over the Appelstrudelhorn." "The Appelstrudelhorn!" cried the marmots. They couldn't help being excited. "I don't like the sound of that," said Leo. "Sounds rather tasty to me," Eddie said. Then they all packed their rucksacks and checked their equipment carefully before setting off. Mark led them first to Grumpy Gorge. From way off they could hear the sound of a marmot whistling. It was sending them a signal. "What is it saying?" Eddie asked the marmots. The little marmots listened carefully. "The bridge has collapsed!" they exclaimed. "I knew it," said Leo. "The bridge has collapsed, the bridge has collapsed," a little marmot repeated. Then he whistled back a thank you to a marmot who had warned them. "Okay, listen everyone," said Mark, pulling a climbing rope out of his bag and tying a wide slip knot with one end. "This is what we're going to do." With a few flicks of his wrist, Mark threw the rope across Grumpy Gorge and lassoed a spike of a rock on the other side. Mark tied his end of the rope around a big, sturdy rock and pulled it tight. "We're going to slide across this rope," Mark announced. "Epic," said Eddie. "A challenge," said Leo, "but I think we can handle it. Eddie, you go first." Eddie was proud to be first. The little marmots scrambled onto Eddie and secured themselves with each a carabiner. 1, 2, 3, whee! The marmots said together as Eddie slid across the open gorge on Mark's sturdy rope. Mark helped Leo, making sure he was secured with rope and carabiners. Then they slid safely across. "We'd better keep moving," Mark said. "We need to travel as far as we can before dark." If you want to know how the story ends, buy the book from markthemountainguide.com.